Good day and Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shafi Ali and my registration number is P125464. This is my presentation for the individual assignment. Introduction. This report will highlight and discuss two articles about the impact of financial innovation on money demand in the context of India. The two articles that will be discussed are the impact of financial innovation on money demand function and empirical verification in India. The second article is money demand function are not so found favorable in the light of financial development. These two articles are written by the same author, Masoodul Hassan Adil, but along with different co-authors. Some details about the articles that has been discussed in the study. The first article examines the traditional money demand function and discusses some of the shortcomings that traditional money demand function has. The authors of this study argues that some of the shortcomings may be resolved if the financial innovation is factored into the money demand function. Masoodul Hassan Adil 2020 stresses the importance of a reliable money demand function in the successful implementation of a monetary policy to effectively manage macroeconomic variables such as inflation. But literature indicates that money demand is rather unstable in many countries during the 1970s. Similarly, the same author, along with some other authors, conducted a similar study in 2022. In Article 2, Masoodul Hassan et al. 2022 conducts this study to examine the stability issues of M1 and M3 real money balances of India after financial reforms took place. The investigation period of the second study is from 1996 to 2016. Unlike Masoodul's first study in the 2020, the recent study mainly focuses on the importance of a stable money demand function in formulating macroeconomic policy decisions. This study also finds that the current monetary policies are shifting their focus from targeting monetary aggregates to targeting inflation through interest rates when formulating monetary policies. The data and methodology that has been used in the two studies. The first study of 2022, Masoodul Hassan used narrow money, broad money, real GDP, CMR, 10-year government securities of India, NEAR, CD, which are commercial deposit certificates, and CP, the commercial papers, and Sensex. CD and CP are the two variables that is used to capture financial innovation in the model. So in the model 1 and in model 2, the last variable FI is the CP and CD, and Sensex is the stock price. In the second study, the author uses more or less the same variables, which are the real money balances of narrow, broad money, GDP, and at constant prices, interest rates, exchange rate, stock prices, and financial development. In both the studies, ARDL cointegration was employed for the regression analysis. Replication of empirical study. The second part of the assignment is an attempt to replicate the empirical study of Masoodul Hassan, which was conducted in the 2020, the first article. The original study defined a sample range from 1996 to 2016 with 82 observations in between. The replication study will account a sample range from 2014 quarter 2 to 2022 quarter 1 with 30 observations in total. Every effort is made to reproduce the findings with the updated data and compare the updated results with the findings from the original study. However, deviations are observed from the updated results and most likely caused by the rapid developments in the financial sector after 2016, that is the original study period. And these deviations are discussed when the ARDL test results are presented. Even though the original study uses two models for M1 and M2, for the purpose of the replication, only M1 is employed for the study and added two new additional variables. The new M1 model will include the following variables: GDP, interest rates, exchange rate, financial innovation, SP, the stock price, and G-sec10. The stock price and G-sec10 was these two variables were initially used only in the M3, which is the broad money, because the G-sec10 has a more greater influence on M3 rather than M1. However, just to see and experiment the deviations, I have included stock price and G-sec10 in the new M1 model. The unit root test for all the variables were stationary at the first difference for Philip-Perron tests. The ARDL, since the unit root tests for the PP under the PP or at the first difference all the variables were stationary, therefore we can proceed for the ARDL tests. Short-term ARDL test result shows that the M1 model is significant with the addition of the two new variables of CD and CP, uh, which is the financial innovations, and also it is the two new additional variables which were added are the stock price and the G-sec10. So with the addition of the two new variables to the M1 model, it is significant. And also with the original study, the CD and CP are the main two variables that are used to capture the financial innovation. So as per the original study, with the incorporation of the CD and CP, still the M1 model is significant. Then this is consistent with the findings of the first model, or the first study. The R squared and adjusted R squared shows a significance of more than 98%. This is further enhanced by the probability of abstract value of 0.00 in the short run, which proves the significance of M1 equation after factoring in the CD and CP variables. Also the additional new variables which are SP and the G-sec10. However, unfortunately, CD and CP variables have no significant impact on the M1 as their probability values are greater than 10% significance. This is contrary to the original study of Masood al-Hassan et al., which was done in 2020, in which they observed a 4% positive impact on M1 in the short run and a 31.2% impact in the long run. But the replicated empirical findings are inconsistent with these original findings. Despite of the observed inconsistencies, the ARDL bound test for the long run indicates that the CD and CP variables are shown to be stable in the equation with other variables, and thus proving the premise of the study, which is that the M1 money demand equation is stable after factoring financial innovations, that is CD and CP. This stability is also supported by the abstract value of 5.99, which is more than the upper boundary limit of the 3.5 at the 5% significance, proving that a long-term relationship exists between dependent variable of M1 and its determinants. To check for the perimeter stability of the M1 model, Kusum and Kusum-Q tests were conducted, and as you can see from the two diagrams, the Kusum line is in between the 5% significance. Therefore, we can fairly conclude that the M1 model has stable parameters. In conclusion, the new results did not show a positive relationship with M1 and the CD and CP, but the original study showed a positive relationship. Despite of this deviation, the new M1 model showed stability within other variables in the model, and therefore the overall model was observed to be stable as proven by the ARDL bound test. Kusum and Kusum-Q test also shows the same thing. Thank you, Professor. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.